Welcome to the Vernon Hills Update. The update offers information about a variety of village services. You'll meet a few of your neighbors and you'll find out about upcoming events. On today's show, we'll stop by the Kids Castle Playground in Deer Path Park and watch as teams of local volunteers help dismantle and prepare the area for a brand new play area planned for next spring. We'll check in with the Village Hall to learn about the annual tree and menorah lighting scheduled for Saturday, November 28th at the Vernon Hills Golf Course. We'll meet a good neighbor to know, Steve Shapiro, and learn about his work on behalf of the Alzheimer's Association Greater Illinois Chapter. And we'll review some important safety tips with Fireman Tony Rodkey of the Countryside Fire Protection District. Thank you for tuning into the Vernon Hills Update.
Well, it is an exciting day in Deer Path Park. We're over at Kids Castle. We're with Amy Lamberti, who's been working on a project over here for months and months and months. You're our volunteer behind the Kids Castle Park. And tell us what's going on, because it's really an exciting day.
Today we have over 100 people from within our community and surrounding corporations out to help volunteer to be part of teams. We've got 5 teams and they're all tagged by colors. And so we've got people that have got tools out here, and then we've got other people that are just carrying material that's being taken down into the dumpsters. And it's quite a team effort, but it's coming down fast.
Yeah, so the idea is you're going to take down the Kids Castle, because by next summer we're going to have a new, improved, updated.
That's right. We're hoping for around end of April, first part of May of 2016. We'll have a beautiful new state-of-the-art playground that'll be a play and port surface by Landscape Design, and we've got the blueprint out here today, and people are in awe over the beauty of the new park that's coming.
Well, let's talk about it, because this park has a very strong place in all of our hearts. About 19, 20 years ago, the community came out and built it in a couple days. So this is built by our own hands as well. So I know that's been something that's been important for you to preserve, but it was the end of time for it. It was hard to maintain. There were issues with it. But tell us why the decision to take this down, and then how you are honoring it.
And you know what, that's a good point. We really are honoring it by taking some of the pieces that people had built years ago, which I think was like 18 years ago. So we have a dragon that we're going to be building into our new park. We have a board that was created with the Kids Castle logo, and that's also going to be put into our new park. And we have some bricks that people had donated, and those bricks will also be put into the new park. We're also hoping that people will buy bricks to put into our new design to add in from the historical piece to the new piece. And we really did love this park, but as 18 years has gone on, the wood has not withstood the time, and bees have become better friends here than the kids to play. So we knew it was time, and the Park District supported the process and said, if we can still have the community involved in the tear down and rebuild, you know, it's now our kids' time to build their future park, and things have progressed over 18 years.
And in 18 years, like you said, now there's things like the poured surface, which allows for accessibility where it might have been hard. The wood chips are not easy to walk through, and you certainly couldn't wheel through them, or if you had something that was an impediment to you, this poured surface is going to make this place accessible just to more.
Yeah, and that is really what I can't wait for the day where I come over here and I see kids who have maybe some crutches or bound in a wheelchair. They're going to be able to enjoy this park in a whole new way that they couldn't have previously. So everything will be handicap accessible.
Well, and I know the Park District did it not only honoring with some of the things that were kept, but the planning process was quite involved, because it wasn't just like, oh, let's just design any old park. This was a special planning process.
It was, and what I really loved is that the Park District involved us and our children in the process. So we were able to give kids a voice in what they wanted within this new park. So we've got a zip line that a group of kids said, hey, we don't want this structure, we want a zip line. And they talked about slide designs and what kind of slides do you guys want? And the kids were able to go in and pick it out. So even after they made their first blueprint, they came back and said, what do you think? And we even they tweaked that one as well. So they really have been listening to the community, which is great. And we're looking for community sponsorship too. So if anyone in the community wants to get involved and make a financial contribution, we will give a piece in the park dedicated to that corporation or that business, which is another way that we're asking the community to be involved.
Okay. So if somebody wants to know more, they can go on the website, they can contact you, send an email to you, or email the Park District leadership or something like that?
Yep. So they can email me, amylynlamberti@gmail.com, or they can go on the Park District website, and there's actually a drop-down that says buy a brick, and that's where they can get that. We have flyers they can pick up at any of the Park District facilities for purchasing a brick. And if you're looking for a corporate sponsorship of either $5,000, $10,000, or $25,000, Jessica Mitchell, through our Park District Community Relations, she can go ahead and work with you on getting your business involved through a landmark piece here in the new park.
Well, and so we're talking, this is coming down today. I know you've got another volunteer day scheduled, but you don't even know if you're going to need it at this point.
I know it's coming down fast, so we'll see. But we're hoping as well as next Saturday to have another group of volunteers out. And you don't have to register. You can just come out and show up, and we'll graciously have you sign your safety waiver, which means you get a white hard hat, and in the zone you go.
Okay. Well, and we're talking about this comes down this fall, but we're looking for prep, and we're looking for this park to be open when?
So April, May of 2016, that's our plan.
That's pretty fast.
Yep. So we'll be getting the ground ready and up it'll come. So we haven't purchased our new park quite yet. We're waiting to make sure everything gets tied up soon, and we'll be putting the order in.
And if you can get some help out of the community or some organizations, that would be wonderful.
We'll take anything we can get. Yep.
Well, thank you to you and all the volunteers who are here today. Thank you to the volunteers 18 years ago. Thank you to this community for all. This is a great community for how everybody just comes in and works. The people you've got working here, it isn't necessarily people with kids right now. It's people that just love the community.
Yeah. And I'd say we have ages 20 to 80 in there right now. And it's really neat just to see everybody that's out here today. And that's why we are in this community of Vernon Hills, because everybody is so supportive, and what they did previously to where we are now. And I've been honored to help lead this because it's been awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody here. You know, and like everybody says, it's kind of bittersweet because this is huge and this is wonderful, and the next one's going to be more wonderful and more accessible. So thank you for all the planning and all the work.
My pleasure.
Well, we are here with Commissioner Cindy Kessler, and you're working hard. The team is working hard. Isn't it exciting to see so many people from across our community helping out?
Truly it is. It is. It's amazing how many people came, given how cold it is. They're working really hard, though, and so it's warming them up. In addition to warming up, we have some hot coffee and muffins from the sponsors from our community that have really helped out also. So
that's the thing. This community does pitch in, and I know sometimes you plan these things and you wonder, it's like having a party. Is anybody going to come? But wow, you have having a party today.
They are coming. They are coming. I've met a couple of people at registration earlier, and there's a gentleman who was unable to come when his kids were going through this, and he said, I want to come and help out too, because he had missed the opportunity. So it's amazing that he's coming back. And it's also nice to see all the younger families coming too, because I know I was here when my kids were going to really enjoy this park, and now another generation. So that's the exciting part also.
It is exciting. I even heard there's some exchange students from China here that got roped into this. So we really are covering the globe. I mean, when Vernon Hills puts out the call, it gets answered.
This will definitely be a destination park then. Everyone's going to want to come.
Thank you for all you're doing. Thank you for your work through the Park District and here today. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Here's a couple of our intrepid volunteers who I have to say, what did you say, George? You said this is built like Fort Knox?
Oh, Aaron said that, but absolutely, that board will hold a grown man. It's not coming down.
We were part of the crew that put it in like 15, 20 years ago, and we put long screws in a lot of them. So
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, right. It was good for the 20 years, but
Never fell off. Shoot, I've been up there and I didn't fall off, so maybe I should thank you.
let's talk about this. George, can you tell me your name and why this is important?
George Fevet. I live here in Vernon Hills, and this is important to me because I've raised my family here. When my wife and I moved here, no kids, just a dog, and now 2 boys later. This is part of what we love about Vernon Hills. We get to bring the kids out here and run around and play and meet our neighbors and friends and shoot, if I'm going to have a place like this to raise my kids, then I'm certainly going to help make the community better.
Wow, that's quite a statement for Vernon Hills. And Aaron, tell us who you are. And you're one of our guys, but you're one of our guys.
I'm Aaron Lawler. I'm also the county board chairman, but today I'm just a volunteer, and it's really exciting. This has been an icon in our community for a long, long time, and the community came together to build it. Now we're coming together to take it down because it's reached the end of its really useful life, and playgrounds aren't being built like this anymore, and so we're going to replace it with something even better, with a lot of community input too.
Yeah, everybody's really excited today too. I mean, no, it's kind of cold, but everybody's going at this like no problem.
It is. It's a team environment. We're all working together. It's great. You've got young people in their teens. You've got older folks and everything in between, and we're all pitching in together. It's really fun.
Yeah, and are your kids excited about this? You know, I know some of the kids are kind of like, "What's it going to be?" It was so great what it was.
My oldest kid already asked when we were building the new one. I told him we had to wait for the snow to melt, but he's really excited.
Thank you for being here today, and thanks for all you guys are doing. So.
And another cool thing is Lake County Public Works was actually able to bring water to the Kids Castle site. So now we'll be able to have drinking fountains and bathrooms because we were able to bring it as a part of a project last year that took a little longer than we wanted, but that'll be a nice amenity for the kids.
Yeah, so instead of the porta potties, we'll have the real deal.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Lake County Board. Thank you for all you guys. We'll let you get back to it. Thank you. We are with Tommy, Lucy, and Caden. These guys are some of our supervisors today, is what I've heard. And you guys have played in this park for years, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you too, Lucy? Is this your park?
Yeah.
Is that Caden?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now tell me though, but this is kind of a happy day, even though the park is coming on, and it's been an awesome park. How do you guys feel about what's going on today?
I feel kind of happy
Yeah. Tell me why it's happy, because you guys put a lot of work into what's coming soon.
because we were kind of the ones that picked out all the stuff for the new Kids Castle.
Yeah. And tell me when you guys went and talked before the board, right? You went to the board?
Yeah.
And what did you guys asked for certain things, right? What did you ask for?
I asked for a zip line. I liked how they put everything up that the kids wanted because it's nice because then the kids will get so bored when they don't have anything that they like to put up.
When I know you guys didn't want this just to be any old park. You wanted it special again. And Kids Castle was special, and I know you guys asked for like places you could hide and seek and stuff too.
Yeah.
What were some of the other features?
We asked for light colors so you can do hide and seek and stuff. And we asked for the zip line, like Lucy said, and stuff.
Yeah, and Caden, you've played in this park for years. What do you think? You've seen the pictures. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just I guess it will be way safer because there's probably not going to be any splinters. Yeah. So.
And probably not as many bees, because the bees would get in that wood, wouldn't it? Well, thanks you guys for all your help, and thanks for your supervision today, and thanks for helping get this going, because a lot of this was based on you guys' vision. You guys know what kids want. So thanks a lot, guys. Have fun today.
Thanks.
We're with Mike, who's the superintendent of parks here, so he's like one of the skilled guys. He's trying to keep everybody under control. You got quite a group here.
Yeah, the volunteer turnout is exceptional. We got, one crew that's doing a bang-up job tearing down the piece behind me, the silver team. And they're really, they got some skilled labor here, and they're saving the park maintenance division a lot of time taking this down.
The volunteers have to be saving some money and time.
Absolutely. So we really appreciate their efforts and their commitment to come out for Kids Castle Demolition Day.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Okay, you guys are working. And what's your name, sir?
Peter Lamberti.
Oh, you're Peter Lamberti. Yes. We've talked to your kids. We've talked to your wife. We know you're involved in this stuff. So tell us what you're doing here today and why it's so important.
We are here today to remove the bricks. And the bricks that have the names of the people that built the park 18 years ago, we're taking them and putting them over here so that we can get them cleaned and replace them at the new park that we're going to have. And also when people want to come and purchase a new brick, we can have them also as well put in at the new park.
Okay, so we can, just like we did 18 years ago, we can purchase bricks to support this park.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think there's 3 sizes of bricks that you can buy, like a 4x4 or regular size brick, and then we can monogram your name on there.
Excellent, and thank you for saving these two because these are the ones from way back when my kids were little. So thanks for all the work you all are doing.
Absolutely, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for building us a new park. Thank you,
Well, we are over at Village Hall to talk to Lisa Fishbeck. She's our kind of go-to person, especially as we go into the holidays. And Lisa, I guess the first order of business is to remind people about what we can't talk about this year. There's no light show, and some people haven't quite gotten that message.
Right. The holiday light show has been discontinued due to development on the property. We no longer have a pathway to send our residents out to see the wonderful light show. So
And we knew that was going to we kind of had heard it happening over the course of the years, but we were never able to actually announce this is the last one until kind of recently.
right, and it's a great loss because it was a very popular show. Families and everybody just loved it, but unfortunately times have changed and the property is going to be developed out. So we've had to discontinue the light show.
So there's no license plates. So if you've had license, those people that have been so faithful getting their license plates, those are collector's items.
Oh yeah, they are definitely collector's items now.
Well, so there's no light show, but we will see some of those displays around town. The trustees and Public Works and people have worked really hard to figure out how to incorporate some of the nicer pieces in different places. So.
Oh yes, Public Works has a great plan for decorating the village.
So it'll be a different kind of holiday, but one of the things that's going to remain true is we are going to once again have a village tree lighting and menorah lighting celebration, I assume.
Oh yes, it has definitely grown over the years. So when I first started here at the village 13 years ago, we had like 25 people show up. Now we have roughly 200. So, and it's really nice. It's on November 28th at 4:30 at the Vernon Hills Golf Course. We light the holiday tree as well as the menorah. Santa Claus is brought in by Countryside Fire Department, provided he's not busy and it's not snowing too bad. So, and then our queens help out lighting the Christmas tree, or I'm sorry, the holiday tree. And they flip the switch on the menorah, and there's hot chocolate and cookies on the inside for everybody to enjoy, and it's just a nice way to come out and visit with your neighbors.
Yeah, that's 4:30 on that Saturday after the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So there's people kind of milling around looking for things to do, and that's at the golf course. That's off Route 45. So you go in at Evergreen, and the clubhouse is right there off of Evergreen. So that's the golf course we're talking about.
Right. Yes.
And you'll be able to see that display as you drive by on 45 as well. So that's still going on. That'll be Saturday, November 28th. When we say it starts at 4:30, you've got to wait for everybody to kind of gather too.
A lot of people show up around 4 o'clock, and for the munchies and stuff, and then with the arrival of Santa Claus, and we usually go out probably around to go out and light the menorah and the holiday tree around 4:45 or 10 till 5. So, but it's over quite quickly. But the children are the ones that hang on just to see Santa Claus.
Excellent. So that's Saturday the 28th. So that tradition continues. And another tradition we have here in Vernon Hills is of giving back. Our corporate people around that come here to work, and some of the organizations around town, there's constantly an effort to try to give a hand up to others. And I know one of the big things that happens during this holiday season is there's a lot of food drives, non-perishable good drives, whether it's, toiletries and soaps or canned goods or whatever. And you in the village have pledged to help with that as well.
Oh, absolutely. We support the Vernon Township and the Libertyville Township food drives, and we will be more than happy if your organization wants to sponsor a food drive within the organization and you collect a lot of food items. Give me a call, and I will coordinate to have someone come pick up the food items, or you're more than welcome to bring them over to the Village Hall, our Public Works Department, or the Police Department, and we will get the donations for you to the Vernon Township food pantry. We have a bin here in our lobby, non-perishable food items. Please check your expiration dates. I know a lot of people like to clean out their cabinets and get rid of old stuff, but unfortunately the township will not take expired food items. So you can purchase items at the grocery store and just swing by and drop them off. If you have a lot of them, we will make arrangements to pick them up for you.
And that's handy because sometimes you have these big corporations out there and they'll do massive amounts, but you don't have enough, vehicles or whatever. You can coordinate to get a pickup truck or something over there.
Right. We will get you picked up. It's either the Public Works Department will either pick it up, or we'll have the Vernon Township office pick it up for you.
So that's a way that sometimes that's the hard part of the whole thing, is getting it where you need to get it. So, right. Awesome. So if you want to know more about any of this stuff, you can go online. You can send an email to Lisa. Give a call over here. She'll help you out. And do enjoy the holidays. We want to see everybody on the 28th for the big lighting ceremony for sure.
Oh, yes, that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Very good. So thank you for your help. Everybody, let's get ready for the holidays. And remember, if you need a little help or you want to know how to get something done, try Lisa over here. She's got a lot of contacts. Thanks, Lisa. We are in beautiful Deer Path Park on a wonderful fall day. We're with a new good neighbor to know, Steve Shapiro. He's lived here for a long time in Vernon Hills, and we're going to find out all about Steve and the good work he does through the Alzheimer's Association. So, Mr. Shapiro, so good to meet you. And you've been a Vernon Hills resident for quite a while, I understand.
I have been a Vernon Hills resident now for 23 years. I don't know where the years have gone. Time has gone very fast. Raised two daughters here.
Okay. And when we talk about living here there's people that don't realize the town has been around that long. So you have seen a lot of changes in town.
Tremendous amount of changes. Actually, when my wife and I were looking to move into a home over 2 decades ago, we thought Vernon Hills was in God's country, and no way could we live in Vernon Hills. But yeah, over the last couple of decades, I mean, things have really changed, but it's a wonderful community. We've been very happy here.
You said you have 2 daughters now. Did they go through Vernon Hills High School, or was that prior to that?
No, they went through Vernon Hills. They both did, and great experience, wonderful high school, so yeah.
And we talk about things we like about the town. I know you talked before about your experience with recreation and park districts, and that's something that's been important to you here, which we're here in Deer Path Park for that reason.
Right. Yeah, I did spend some time in Parks and Recreation a number of years ago, and we live actually very close to where we're standing right now, and the park has been just wonderful for us, wonderful to be able to walk our dog through here, to take walks, the kids growing up. In fact, the tree behind us was actually dedicated in honor of my father, and I'm so delighted that the Park District has a program like that where you can help beautify the parks but also honor a loved one.
Well, it's good to get to know you and know about your family, and I know what you've been working on, and how, and you'll have to tell us how long you've been doing that, but you're an integral part of the Alzheimer's Association, the Greater Illinois chapter.
Correct.
And that is some really important work you're doing, because the numbers show it's something that's going to touch everybody.
No, you're absolutely right, Lynn. It's Alzheimer's, sadly, is really reaching almost epidemic proportions, and age is the greatest risk factor for developing Alzheimer's, and so certainly as we are living longer, it's sort of a double-edged sword that we're living longer lives, but you have a greater risk for developing the disease. Right now, Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States, and every 67 seconds somebody develops this disease in the United States.
So as part of what your organization does, now I know you work a lot corporately, and so you go around because, correct me if I'm wrong, you're looking to make some changes in the world, and you need money to make some changes.
Very, very well put. Very well put. Yeah, my role at the chapter is to raise awareness and raise revenue for the association through partnerships with businesses. Corporations, small, medium, and large, can engage with us, and their employees can engage with us around a whole host of different activities. Our Walk to End Alzheimer's, which just ended, we have 21 walks throughout the state of Illinois. We have a walk in Libertyville at Independence Grove, and that's a wonderful opportunity for businesses to become a corporate sponsor, to provide their employees with the opportunity to fundraise and walk and feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves.
And when you talk about that fundraising, you're just coming, as we're taping this, you're just coming off kind of your walk season. Hopefully we've been able to raise you some money, because I know you've got a lot of places, you've got a lot of researchers that need the funding. You aren't getting funding elsewhere.
That is very true, and the Village of Vernon Hills is a wonderful partner, and they do have an active walk team up in Libertyville. But yeah, research is really key. Right now, there is no way to prevent, cure, or slow down Alzheimer's. It's the only disease in the top 10 leading causes of death that is true. But there is hope, and there is tremendous efforts underway throughout the world to come up with a cure for this disease, and also some disease-modifying medications that can really improve the quality of life for somebody who's got a diagnosis of Alzheimer's.
I know before we started rolling tape, you said for the amount of people that are impacted by this, the funding is such a fraction compared to other things, other equally important causes, but this cause just hasn't quite captured, considering how many people are suffering.
Yeah, and that's very true, but that's changing. Thank goodness it's changing. And the reality is that when a disease begins to impact more and more people, people of prominence in the community, people, celebrities, sometimes you need that face to be able to really change the trajectory. But we're still lagging behind, and we still need more research dollars. And the more that people can get behind the cause and contribute, the faster we can find a cure.
And as you said, there's research going, and there's hope out there. So there's a lot of strides being made. So.
That is very, very true. Very true.
Well, let's talk about other things. So that's what organizations, or we can do as individuals, to give. But you have a lot of help that you can give if you have a family member, if you're a caregiver, if you're somebody with Alzheimer's. You've got some resources available through the Greater Illinois chapter.
We do. And our website is a tremendous resource. alz.org/Illinois is a very rich website with resources, information information about support groups. Our 1-800 number, our helpline, is really sort of the cornerstone of our care and support that we provide. It's a telephone number that is answered by licensed master's level social workers who can help families navigate a diagnosis of Alzheimer's. They can point families in the direction of quality care facilities, neurologists, and really help triage what can really be a devastating piece of information, which is learning that a loved one has a diagnosis.
Okay, so you're saying anybody can pick up the phone and call that number and get some information and some support?
They can, and the helpline number is 1-800. I'm going to refer to the business card because it's such an important number. 1-800-272-3900, 24/7, 365. One interesting fact about the helpline is that after the holidays, we see a spike in calls because individuals of my age who may not live in the same community with a parent, an elder parent, who hasn't seen them in many months or maybe a year, really see a dramatic decline in their cognition and their memory, and they will call the helpline. Okay. So it's a tremendous resource.
Okay, so that is a good place. That can be a first place to call, just to even ask, this is what I'm seeing, what do you think, and talk to somebody who's in the know about that.
That is very true. Very true.
That's a free service too, people. The website, just look online or call the number. There's no charge, but at the same token, if we do have something to give, I know you have places that we could give the money, or if you were an organization that wanted to learn more, are you available to come and talk?
Oh, absolutely. I do a lot of speaking, and I speak in front of Rotaries, and I speak in front of business groups all the time, and the common theme of that is that people in the room are nodding their heads, sadly, and many of them are currently living this as a caregiver, or they know somebody who is living this, and more than happy to come out and do some education, share some information. Most importantly, if you are a business owner and you employ one person or 1,000 people, helping those individuals know where to turn for help really sort of sets you apart as an employer, because I think employers now, because of the aging population and the aging workforce, maybe have a greater responsibility than they used to have towards their employees.
So it's something, again, you can just pick up the phone, call, learn a little more. It's not going to hurt, and it can help and give you peace of mind, or at least some information.
Very, very true.
Well, thank you. It's great to meet you.
Likewise.
Thank you for being part of Vernon Hills and being such a supporter all these years. If people want to know more, contact him. Send him an email, look online, call that helpline. But this is what he's passionate about, and for good reason. And hopefully we can work together to make some strides and put a hurt on this disease. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it.
We are at Countryside Fire Protection District on Deer Path Drive, and we are with Fireman Tony to talk about all things related to family safety and security. And as we're in November, I know that's one of your big months where you like to get people doing a task around their house. Can you tell us what happens when we change our clocks?
We should be changing the batteries in our smoke alarms when we change our clocks. That's the reminder in fall and spring. It's important to make sure we have power to those smoke alarms, and then we want to remind ourselves to test them once a month by marking it on the calendar at the front of the month or the end of the month.
I always write it up on the battery too, so I know when I did it.
That's not a bad idea, but
you don't like that? I'm not going to come up with tips. I'm trying to help you out, Tony. But and when we talk about it's November 1 is the day we're supposed to fall back and change our clocks. But even if you changed your clock, just get in there and do the battery. Do it another day, but get it done in the fall.
Yes, exactly. You don't have to wait for the day, but that's the time frame we're looking for. Every 6 months, we want to have fresh batteries in the smoke alarms.
But I know you're concerned too, because a lot of us have our detectors that are getting older. You'd like to see them switched out as well, the whole equipment.
It is recommended every 10 years, or according to the manufacturer, but we're looking at about 10 years. We should get new smoke alarms as well.
And they're relatively inexpensive.
$4 at Walmart with a battery.
Do it. It's important for your family. Another thing that's important for your family, and you've been having some issues with clogged up exhaust fans. They get filled with, fuzz and all kinds of junk.
We tend to neglect the exhaust fans in the washrooms because we don't think about it. But yes, there's a heavy buildup of the dust, and those can overheat, they can bind, and that can cause fires above the ceiling, which can get into the attic and then are really tough to put out.
Okay, and you've seen that happen.
Yes, we have several occasions. That's why we're asking you to routinely maintain your exhaust fans in your washrooms. Got to take down the cover. You got to dust that area out. Use a high-powered vacuum, works best. And put the cover back on. But maintaining them to keep the dust down to eliminate any of those fires.
Okay, thank you very much. Those are simple things that it isn't something you have to have a technician do. You can do it yourself.
No, in addition, when you're not in the washroom, you keep the fan off. I understand it's on when you're in there, but when you leave the washroom, shut it off as well. It'll keep it from overheating.
Okay. Another good tip. Well, let's talk about as we come into November and we start coming into the holiday season. People are coming inside, they're having more meals with family, and you always get a little nervous as a fireman about Thanksgiving. Can you tell us why Thanksgiving makes you just a little nervous?
Well, a lot of people don't realize this, but Thanksgiving is the day where there's 3 times more likely cooking fires. Based on the holidays, the family's over, people are less likely to pay attention due to family visiting and friends visiting. So know that. 3 times more likely to have a fire during Thanksgiving. Watch what you heat. Don't leave your cooking unattended. Make sure you have any combustibles far enough away, such as dish towels, washcloths, paper napkins, wrappers, away from the stovetop, any of those heat sources that you may be using for your Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, and you always say have the proper equipment nearby. Have a cover, a lid, and have an oven mitts ready to go, because a lot of times you just smother everything.
Absolutely. Use 2 oven mitts to protect both hands. We don't want to lose balance trying to use just one hand. Protect both hands. You have more control over something that's hot, as well as the lids and the utensils that you need to prevent yourself from getting burned, as well as keeping the children back in a safe zone. I know sometimes they want to get in there and they want to help, but we want to create that safe zone, so we want to keep the children far enough away that they're not going to get burned.
And when we talk about the safety of kids in there, another thing, even though we're trying to keep the kids out of there, but to be sure, I know you've always said, turn those pot handles in so a child can't reach up and grab a pot handle.
Back to that curiosity. They see that handle, they want to know what's in it, they grab it. If it's hot, it'd be devastating. So yes, turn your handles to the side or to the rear, and it's going to be a lot safer for the little ones that may be curious to find out what's going on the stovetop.
A lot of times moms will even use just the back burners because they just don't want that near for the kids.
And that's a good idea.
Yeah. And I know you're the same way with knives. Keep the knives out of the way. Be careful if you've got tablecloths so kids aren't pulling everything down on you.
You just want to be careful of those utensils and be aware that they're just as much part of the family and curious to help and be part of the holiday. In addition to the cooking, number 2 causes of fire are unattended burning candles. So when you go out, blow them out. That's something we really want to make sure we get the message across here with the holidays approaching. Make sure those candles are blown out when you're not in the room, you're leaving the house, you're going to sleep.
Well, and especially like you said, you're celebrating people in the house. You're trying to make it look pretty. You're trying to cook a little extra special. I can see where it gets to be it's a hectic time, and it's just easy to lose track of things. So you just want people to be mindful and careful.
Yes, please. And when in doubt, call it out, 911.
Exactly. Remember that they're always over here ready to help. If you're not sure, don't wait. Don't wait a second. If you think it might be a possibility you need help, you guys are there. Your paramedics, your firefighter, the whole crew comes.
We'll definitely come when you call 911. On behalf of Countryside Fire Protection District, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, and thank you to all your crew as well.
You're welcome.
Well, that wraps up this edition of the Vernon Hills Update. If you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Stordo at 847-918-3560 or email Mike S. at thehills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.